I grew up in Orem, Utah, which is a city mostly full of white middle-class people, and my family fit in there perfectly. This is Sharon Elementary, and this is where I went to school, starting from when I was in preschool up through 6th grade. And I loved it there, despite the fact that many people told me that it was the worst public elementary school in most of Utah County. But it was also one of the more diverse schools. Only 42% of the student population there was white, and 52% was Latino. It also had a specialized preschool for students with disabilities that helped them become integrated in the classroom early on in their education. And about 43% of the students there received free or reduced lunch. And so as an elementary student, I had a lot of different friends. They were of different races, different economic standing, different ability, and I learned to appreciate the differences and the similarities that we had. As I grew up, the demographics in my schools changed. Coming from an elementary school where I was, in a way, kind of a minority. It was different to go to a high school where 77% of the school was also white. But at Orem High, I had lots of great opportunities where I was able to take AP and honors classes, and I was able to participate in lots of extracurricular activities. Throughout elementary school and junior high, I can remember specifically talking about equality and celebrating different cultures. All of our announcements that we took home were written in multiple languages, and the school put on different cultural celebrations. We learned about different groups of people, but I didn't see as much of that as I got into high school. In high school, I still was part of the dominant majority, and as a white middle-class student, my teachers expected me to succeed and supported me. And I believed I could succeed as well. I saw myself as the default and rarely thought about my race, economic status, or any other part of my identity. But I could focus solely on my education. And looking back, I realized that not everyone had that luxury. I remember one particular math teacher that I had was very supportive of me. But I had a friend with a learning disability, and she had a very difficult time working with him because he believed that there's only so much she could do, and so he didn't want to work with her. I was part of choir, and I remember my choir dress was $80, and choir tour was over $500, and I was able to go every year. And there were many students that weren't able to go or wouldn't be able to participate in choir because that's an expensive thing. So there are certain activities that students weren't able to be a part of simply because they or their parents wouldn't be able to afford it. Orem High had policies that all people should be treated equally regardless of race or any other aspect of their identity. And in most cases, I felt that people were treated equally. And any variations were mostly due to individual teachers' prejudices. However, this is coming from someone with a white privileged background, so there may have been problems that I just never noticed. As a future teacher, I want my class to be somewhere where my students feel safe and that they feel like they're treated fairly. And every person is so unique that I can't assume that one way of teaching is going to reach everyone. In fact, I know that it won't. And so I want my students to feel like they can come to me and that they'll receive individualized attention to help them learn the things that they need to. I plan to provide materials in my class, such as paper, pencils, markers, rulers, calculators that students can use while they're there, because not everyone has those things readily available at home and can't always bring those to school with them. And then I also want to incorporate diversity into the lesson plans that I give. I want to talk about mathematicians from different races, different cultures, different backgrounds, and the contributions that they made. And with this, I hope my students can see that successful people come from different backgrounds and from circumstances similar to their own. But the most important thing that I can do to be an equitable teacher is to know my students and to listen to them and really want the best for them. Because I feel that as I do that, prejudices that I have will diminish, and that I'll be able to see those students for who they are and the potential that they have, and I'll want to find ways to help them with their education.